We have ours. Okay, I'm just asking about our little pads. Okay.
So
We have
we're
our
having to
pads.
go today, get logged on to SharePoint.
How are you today?
I will go.
Hey, if we have to go old school, old school.
Sorry.
That's the worst thing that happens.
What's been changing the agenda, so.
Oh, sweet, I was gonna look at my conversation about Black Earth. Thank you.
That's your name.
Look nice.
Thank you.
How are you?
We don't have to put a certain time to do that.
Said I'm at the back. Thank you. Have you made it up here yet?
Not yet. Still driving back and forth every week.
It's a lot.
That's fine.
I just got
Yeah,
my
and I
own
drive my
2
whole way
minutes.
here.
I know that's far. Especially if it's your first
It's hot in here. Could you unlock the door? Thank you.
He said it was here.
I had to call him more. Oh, you did? I don't think so. I just signed it.
Yeah, making it.
Keep up with. Throw some more money at me, I like that.
$20 range.
Waking up about 9:30 or 8.
I don't know that it matters. That's what I was trying to tell you.
One place rise. I called an order of Erwin Board Mayor meeting, Erwin Board Mayor and Alderman meeting, May the 22nd, 5:30 p.m. And Dr. Hatcher will lead us in a prayer. Officer McKinney will lead us in our pledge of allegiance. Dr. Hatcher.
Father God, we give you thanks for this day and all you do for us, Father. We just ask that we would put you first and foremost in our lives. Guide us, lead us in all the decisions we make, help it be beneficial to all concerned. Help us to make this community even stronger than it is, Father, and grow better. Forgive us of our sins and watch over us. Preside over this people tonight. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Officer McKinney.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Call the name.
Michael Baker, here. Paula Edwards,
Here.
Mickey Hatcher, here. Kathy Hustings, Andy Vaughn,
Here.
Glenn White.
Here. BMA members in your packets, we have a meeting from last meeting on May 8th, which was a regular meeting. Any discussion on those minutes? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Do I have a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? At this time, we'll open our board meeting up to citizens who would like to address the citizenry. We would like to address the BMA. Anyone here that would like to address the BMA, please come forward. Okay, we'll move on from there. Moving on number 6, reports from members of the board or other officers. Are there any reports from the BMA? Okay, that being said, I'll go to number 7, the communication from the mayor. First, I want to let the BMA members know that this week is Public Work Awareness Week, and I'd like to highlight our Public Works Department, our director, Mr. Bailey. As we know, Mr. Bailey is very vital to our city. He's on call 24/7, and he does an exceptional job. He probably gets the blunt of the citizenry when things go wrong. He's the first one that people call, and he does an excellent job with the citizens, and we're fortunate to have him. So we wanted to make that recognition at this time. Mr. Bailey, thank you for the job that you do. Now,
workers.
well, you do, and you're the head of that, and the department's temporary, and we thank you very much for that. This time, Mr. Bailey will come forward, and we're going to make a presentation. Mr. Wingfield, you come forward, please. As you all know, this past year, Mr. Tim Wingfield, he retired from the city, and this is just a small token of our appreciation. Tim has worked for Erwin city government for 36 years, and I've been told that he's worked for all the departments. He's Department of Works, he's the fire hall. Was he a police officer also?
Police duty.
Police duties, right. And so we think for 36 years, that's a blessing to have such a strong employee as you guys to us. And we want you to know that it's home for you. We want to be able to help you. Let us know. Thank you for your service to the citizens. Mr. Bailey, would you like to say something? I'll let you present this to us since you're the supervisor.
I've been here for about 5 years now. You have people with good citizenship and people to show up when you ask. And Tim was the #1 guy during that time. So you know how much I really appreciate that. Never gave me in trouble or asked me to do something. He's always there. So you can't replace that at this day and time. We appreciate it. It was a good time working with you. We appreciate all that you gave to us. And I said, try to get like it used to be without you. So. Appreciate you, sir. Yes, sir.
You've got other duties, don't you, the county commission? All right, county commission. Okay, God bless you. Thank you. Okay. At this time, I would like to ask the BMA to consider amending the agenda for 2 items. First, we need to add on there the second reading and approval of the municipal code that we have been working on for the past. It needs one more reading there on the codification of the codes. And also a special event that is in your packet. I have left off the agenda. So I did not know if I could have a motion to amend that and then add those two. So is there any discussion on those? Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. 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 Okay, now let me also add that I'm going to ask for a motion to add for the second reading of the municipal code codification. It's the second and final reading that will update all of our codes to MTS, and also to add a special event that I left off of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second. Do we need to specify
For the event?
number that goes with that?
Yes, sir. I think I'm going to add it down at 9.2, 9.3. Is that okay?
About the ordinance number. We need that ordinance.
You only have special event permit application, you don't have ordinance number on the agenda.
The ordinance for the code, okay.
Is it already there?
Ordinance 19. Yes, it's ordinance number 747-23.
It's on 9.1.
Okay, got it? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I got So I had a motion from Alderman Baker. Did I have a second? Okay. Okay, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thank you, board members, and we'll get to that, right here, here in a second. Okay, so moving on with the lease agreement, it's 8.1, consider approval of amended lease agreement between the town of Erwin and the Nuclear Fuel Services Corporation. Mr. Muller, would you like to comment on that?
Sure. I talked to Mr. Richard Story at NFS this last week, and he's wanting to amend the lease agreement that had passed in its first reading. And he's wanting to add a temporary structure to that lot, and he's wanting to change the construction, Article 5.1, where he's no longer grading or grappling. He just wants to say you'll leave it in as good or better condition as when the lease commenced. And he's wanting to, he's at the 17.8, which is, it gives us permission to park there during after festival.
Any other questions about the BMA on behalf of Mr. Muller?
I just have a question on, and maybe you can help us, Tom. I have a question about in good or better condition, because that's pretty loosely, and before we had it to where it was pretty specific within 20 days and it would be graded and gravelled. Is that gonna be an issue?
Well, clearly the first was more specific, what we were asking to do, and I don't know really what prompted the change from NFS. I know they just came back and they decided they didn't want to gravel it, but you know, most leases, that is kind of the language that's used, if they're going to leave it as good condition, you know, as when they first started the lease. So I don't think that's unusual, but it is different than what they originally said they were going to do.
Do we have to agree to the new one?
No, you don't have to agree to it. You can decide that that's why this is coming before the board, so y'all can make that decision whether or not you agree to it. But that was what the proposal was from NFS, and it was materially different than what the board originally approved. So I think that's why it's back before you to consider that. No, this board can refuse that and vote against it. That's the board's wish.
Tom, is the 30-day notice still in there in place? Should we get an offer on it?
Yes, I think we did have that in there, that it could be terminated. I don't think that was changed.
Mr. Seeley, if we vote against this one, does the other one going, is the other one still in effect?
I don't think we'll have an agreement. The board approved the other one, the NFS, when it was back to them, then they again had some changes. Some of them, I think, reflected some of the questions the board had about the Apple Festival and getting clarification. But then again, they did change on the no graveling and not grading the property. So again, I don't think there won't be anything in place.
Well, also, if you get someone in that grading that we don't really want, it can mess up with water runoff or whatever that might be. It says it's good or better. Is that sufficient in your eyes, Mr. Seeley? Do you think the city is protected with that type of language?
I think the city's protected for what the purpose of that property is. Again, it's just a question of whether there was an expectation by this board that it would be gravel and graded. I don't know that that helps that much or makes that property any more valuable for the marketing for industrial sites. But again, that's just what was discussed, and now NFS said they didn't want to do that, so that's why it's back before the board.
I think that's just what worries them, because how much money was spent to prep that site? Are we gonna have it back to site prep? We just wanna be sure that it's.
When we got to October, we can always vote it down and go back and have Mr. Muller discuss.
Better.
Yeah, discuss with them.
Right.
Is there any clarification on what type of structure they are wanting? Like, is it an accessory dwelling unit, or?
It's just a temporary guard shack.
Guard
It's
shack.
gonna be something that they remove probably.
So like a trailer?
No, it's gonna be more like a hut.
Something like bringing them back, trailers out.
Like that.
Well, any other
Will those
discussion?
be gone at Apple Festival too, the
No.
temporary structures will not,
It's just one structure,
just
right?
one?
Just one.
But at Apple Festival, they're just using it for parking, correct?
That's all.
So the same scenario is there, so the structure wouldn't be affected.
Okay. Any other discussions? Do I have a motion for approval? Do I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Muller, would you call the roll?
Michael Baker,
No.
Paula Edwards,
yes.
Mickey Hatcher.
Yes.
Kathy Huskins. Angie Vaughn,
Yes.
Glenn White.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Mr. Muller. Moving on to ordinance, this is, 9.1, consider approval of ordinance number 746-23. The budget ordinance for fiscal year 2023-2024, and this is first reading. Open discussion up for the BMA. Any discussion? Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Muller, would you call the roll?
Michael Baker,
Yes.
Paula Edwards,
Yes.
Mickey Hatcher. Kathy Huskins, Angie Vaughn,
Yes.
Glenn White.
Yes. Okay, moving on to 10.1, this is the, special event that we amended. The application is in the packet. The applicant is Mr. Casey. He's here in the audience. Any questions for him? So, I'm gonna open the discussion up for the BMA. Is there any discussion on this, special event permit?
Mr. Casey, do you have anything to add to this application permit?
Okay,
I mean, I can explain it from my standpoint. Mr. Casey has an extensive relationship with a lot of celebrities, and we've hosted a few in the past at the tap room. So this one is Mr. Tom Wolpack from Dukes of Hazzard, and is he here for Hazard Fest? Is that what he's here for?
We have him a couple of events a year.
So he's gonna be in town that weekend, and he wanted to do something else, in Erwin. So, we have volunteered to host the indoor portion. It's gonna be like a little concert or meet and greet. It's gonna be a private ticketed event inside of the tap room. On the street, it will be, vendors, the General Lee will be there, I believe, and different car shows. So, this is just an addition to downtown. I have checked with the, other businesses and residents on Union Street, and everybody's in favor of it.
Nice to expect questions, right? It's indicated here the total participants about 200 now. That wouldn't be 200 within your establishment.
Absolutely not. No, definitely not. No, my maximum occupancy is 99. So that's like overall what we expect on the street.
So is that alcohol out on the street, or is that in your tap room?
No, that'd be just within the doors.
But you monitor the number of people coming in, so.
Absolutely. This one, I believe Alvin's gonna have it as a ticketed event. So there'll be there'll be a maximum of 75 tickets sold.
And that's just not in this paper as well.
Yeah.
okay, I'm assuming, Mr. Muller has been approved for the street department with Chief Tilson.
Yeah, all three department heads are approved.
And also Chief Harris, okay? Any other discussion? Okay, do I have a motion for approval?
Some of them.
Do I have a second?
Second,
Mr. Muller, would you call the roll, please?
Michael Baker, Paula Edwards,
yes.
Mickey Hatcher. Kathy Huskins, Angie Vaughn. Glenn White.
Yes. Moving on to number 11, ordinance, consider approval of ordinance number 747-23. An ordinance adopting and enacting the comprehensive codification and revision of the ordinances of the town of Erwin, Tennessee. This is the second final reading. Thank you, Dr. Hatcher. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Mr. Muller, would you call the roll?
Michael Baker,
Yes.
Paula Edwards,
Yes.
Mickey Hatcher.
Yes.
Kathy Huskins, Angie Vaughn,
Yes.
Glenn White.
Yes. Moving on now to number 12, information, on board of mayor and order meeting will be June the 12th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. and this Wednesday, which will be the 24th. We have a planning commission meeting here, at Town Hall. Yes, sir, on the 24th, this Wednesday. Okay, any other discussion from the council? Before calls. Okay, do I have a motion for adjournment? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you. Okay.